station and see looking both ways.
Yes, and as you can see, as we are floating through this station and as we meet all our crew members, I think you can see that almost all of us have smiles on their faces, and this was basically how it was for about 6 months in a row. We were very happy to be there. We did a lot of good work. We accomplished a lot, but we also had a lot of good fun on orbit, and I think that was what made us, our crew, so effective throughout our stay. Here we're flying through to the Russian segment, Nicole taking over from me.
And we come through the PMA, and one of our favorite things I think a lot of us did was rolling through the FGB. It was a nice place to do that, a nice long place to do that. And that brings you over into the service module, and Max is doing the backwards float from the FGB back into the service module. It's amazing what you can do up there.
And meanwhile, we're back to work. This is rack transfer. This is one of the very exciting moments when we have new MPLM with lots of new racks. And now Konai moving the new racks into US lab. And each rack weighs about 1,000 pounds. So you have to be really careful not to hit the very precious equipment to the hard surface. Okay, now finally we find a parking spot and they're just putting it to the final destination. It still needs fine alignment, make sure we get the equipment into the right position.
Doug, what are some of the most important real-world discoveries and contributions that we have benefited from as a result of space exploration?
Some of the most exciting things for me now that we're doing here on the space station, we've actually got over 130 experiments going on here in the 4 laboratories that are on board. And we've got some wonderful experiments in the medical field helping us to develop different ways to refine pharmaceuticals, ways of looking at transport of these pharmaceuticals in the bloodstream to be able to fight off diseases and cancers and things like that plague us as human beings on the Earth.
And then the other time that we have free time, we enjoy looking out the windows, and especially the brand new module, the cupola that STS-130 brought up. Here we're looking over a place that's near and dear to us all. We're coming up on a night pass over Houston and then the Louisiana coast, and we'll come into daylight. And eventually, in just a short amount of time, we will end up over Ireland, all in just a small bit of a pass, and it's just incredible to look at our Earth.
Our undocking occurred at night over the west coast of the United States. We backed out to around 400 feet and then began a lap around the space station that was just nothing short of spectacular for the views that we saw. We're used to seeing this in the simulator, and this is the ultimate high definition, seeing it with your eyes. Here we are crossing by Lake Michigan and Chicago, straight down below the station as we were looking on it. And then you'll see here coming up on the Atlantic coast with Cape Hatteras, the furthest point off to the left. As we complete the fly around there, we see the station from the backside, and looking at the horizon. It just was one of those things that we'll all treasure for the rest of our lives.
NASA Administrator Charles Bolden and the NASA team that traveled to Chile to assist the once-trapped miners met with President Obama on October 28th in the White House Oval Office. The NASA team is Clint Craig, engineer, Dr. Michael Duncan, Deputy Chief Medical Officer, Albert Holland, psychologist, and Dr. J.D. Polk, medical officer. The team advised Chilean rescue officials on how to maintain the cycle